What's up for all fans? Mafia, Shep, in with you again, day 3 of In Off the Bench, with Scott down in Florida, enjoying the sun, enjoying the wife, enjoying no kids, of course, probably enjoying these series because, let's face it, it's been incredible baseball. But first of all, I know that what you're enjoying is sweet new duds from our friends at Affliction, so let's give you a second to enjoy them now, so you're not just staring at them the whole time distracted while we make our points.
That's going to happen.
Okay, now. And you can't see the pants, but they're even sweeter. Anyway, Shep, huge baseball games today. Game 5 in the AL Divisional Series for both series. We have Toronto and Texas. We have Kansas City and Houston. And, of course, the bigger one, for anybody who didn't watch, was Texas and Toronto. Craziest baseball game you will see in a long time. We've had some crazy things happen in these baseball playoffs. We've had back-to-back suicide squeezes. We've had huge blowouts. We've had pitchers' duels. This one was probably the craziest, all in one inning, and probably it's one of the craziest plays you will see in your whole time watching baseball, not just the playoffs. I mean, I don't think you'll ever see a play like that again.
Yeah.
Of course, the play we're referencing is Russell Martin trying to throw back to the pitcher, throws it off the bat of Chu, becomes a live ball. Texas scores the go-ahead run. All hell breaks loose in Toronto. There's reviews. There's fans upset. They're throwing things on the field in protest. Then, bottom half of the inning comes along, and Texas just blows it. 3 straight errors. They have 3 plays that they completely botch. Not to mention the 4th play that gets the tying run in on Donaldson's fluke hit over second base. Odor misplays that one. They get the tying run, and then Joey Bats comes up and hits the shot heard round Canada. Just crushes the ball. Stares at the pitcher for a while. Throws the bat about 20 feet. Incites everybody. But still, in the end, Toronto comes through, comes back from the 0-2 hole, and wins this series against Texas and moves on to the ALCS. Now, Shep, obviously, we just talked about it. 3 main topics in this game. First, how crazy was that play in the top of the 7th for Texas for them to score the run? What do you think? Was it called right? Is that the way things should have gone? 2, Texas blowing it in the bottom of the 7th. And you got to give Toronto, obviously, credit for doing what they did to come back, getting the hits, getting the big shot by Joey Bats. How incredible was their comeback? And 3, what do you think about Bautista and what he did at home plate? Was it over the top, or was it just emotion getting the better of him and you got to give him a break?
Well, I think you got to adhere to the letter of the law. What we saw with the Blue Jays was a veteran catcher finding a way to muck it up. It happens. It's baseball. You got to live with it, right? The story to me was Bautista, because that guy single-handedly won this game. That was not just a home run. That was a emphatic exclamation, capitalization, italic home run.
Just a monster, no doubter.
Oh, without question. And you know what? Look, people, this is what's so funny to me. When a home run is hit in a big-time situation, obviously the biggest for Toronto we've had in the last 22 years, people think it's showing up to the other team. But what people have to understand is that a lot of times it's just raw emotion. You said it better than I did. Bautista has never been in a situation like this before. This is the biggest game he has ever played in his career, his life for that matter. And so the emotion got the better of him. I don't think he owes baseball. I don't think he owes this team, who they came back on 3-2, an apology. I think he should be happy for the productivity he showed in Game 5. I think the Blue Jays have every reason to be emphatically happy right now, and I'm very happy for that fan base. They deserve it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Bautista coming into this, the second most in baseball active players of games played in your career without making the playoffs, so he gets in there, obviously. That's the biggest point of his life as far as baseball goes, so great job by him by getting the hit. Maybe a little over the top of the emotion. We'll see what that translates into next year, because Texas is done now. We'll see how they feel about that come next year.
You don't think people are going to make too much of this? I mean, I think it's such a moot point what happened in the game. The story is the home run. The story is going up 6-3. The bat flip is 2 seconds of drama.
See, but he made the bigger story by making it so over the top and over dramatic. I think if he just watches the shot and then runs up the first base line, it's not that big a deal. I think if he starts running and flips the bat crazy, it's not that big a deal. You put both those together where you're standing there for an extra 10 seconds at home plate, people are going to get up in arms. I know in Toronto, they love it. They think it's great. But people in Texas definitely aren't going to be happy about that. Of course, they're not going to be happy in general, but that's the way it is. You lose, got to move on. Also, Game 5. In the series between Kansas City and Houston. Houston, of course, had the big lead in Game 4, the chance to close out the series. blow it, give up the 5-run inning to Kansas City. People were wondering if Houston could come back, if that just kills them. If this young team was dead in the water after that and just going through the motions, they came out, got their early home run, but then Kansas City, with their experience, comes back and answers. Cueto, an incredible performance. Kansas City wins and moves on. What did you think about them winning that game?
Well, I can't discount Cueto because he was the story of the game. The highlight of the game to me was Lorenzo Cain. When he went, it was a hit-and-run play. We know they were down 2-0 at the time. It was so gutsy. It was so bold. And he ran around the base path. I think it was like 8.5 seconds. And anybody that has not run a base path knows that that time is meaningless. But if you have run a base path, that is lightning.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like lightning on ice, right? As they used to say in Cool Runnings. So, to me, that was the play that got everyone upstart, excited, that got everyone passionate about coming back and ultimately winning by a score that we didn't see even surmountable in the beginning because we thought there was going to be like a 2-2 game. He really disproved that. Cain, to me, invigorated that team, and then Cueto obviously took the baton and finished it off.
Now, of course, Kansas City in the championship series last year won it, went to the World Series, lost to the Giants. Toronto hasn't been there in a long time, and now Kansas City has the home field advantage. Toronto has the big bats. Kansas City has the experience. Which one do you think plays out more in this CS?
Well, I think the Royals have been there. We know that. But it's just the Jays' time, man. It's just the Jays' time. The Royals, it's almost like they expected to get there. But the Blue Jays with Bautista and Donaldson and Tulo and Price, and the list goes on and on, these are veterans that have been there longer than the Royals have. We forget that, yes, the Blue Jays have not been there in 22 years, but the experience is totally outweighed for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's just their time.
We'll have to see if some guys can get over their playoff failure. I mean, Tulowitzki has been there with the Rockies, didn't get anything done. David Price, 0-6 as a starter in the postseason, has 2 wins in relief, including the one in Game 4, but has not looked great in his postseason career as a pitcher. We'll have to see if he comes through. Stroman, the young guy, if he can continue that. We'll have to see what goes on in this ALCS. I'm very excited for it. And, of course, tomorrow night we have Game 5 in the NLDS between the Mets and the Dodgers.
Wait,
DeGrom versus Greinke.
The Mets are playing tomorrow?
Oh, they're playing, and it's going to be a great game, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that goes. We'll see who meets the Cubs in the NLCS.
That's right.
Mafia and Shep here with you in for Pharrell while he's down in Florida. We'll be back again tomorrow, coming in off the bench and giving you the biggest topics in sports.